back, everyone. Well, the Tesla Model S electric car has been rated the safest in the world and may have plugged into a new success. The company says they will have an affordable electric car available in the next couple of years.
Thinking about going electric? Car companies have been unveiling their new electric cars to the public. The fancy designs, unique charging stations, as well as being cost-effective are the selling points Tesla Motors and other companies hope consumers would appreciate and ultimately purchase their products.
I think there may be some consumers that are on the sidelines saying, just like any other new technology, I'll wait for a couple of generations of that to be out before I take the leap. I mean, if it's an iPhone and you don't like it or it doesn't work out for you, you sort of toss it aside and say, well, okay, I foolishly spent a couple $100. Nobody wants to foolishly spend $30,000 or $35,000.
These new vehicles can be taken on longer trips than original electric cars. Since improvements have been made, you can travel longer distances before needing to recharge the battery. Most cars that are charged overnight are ready to go by morning. Is a new electric car in your future?
All right, let's find out what everybody thinks about these electric cars, and then we're going to talk about the Tesla. Now, Dr. Bart, I keep going to you first. I'm not so sure why I'm doing that. So you're on my right. Yeah, we know you're all into the green energy and stuff like that. So you know,
I should have had a green tie.
You should have. That's got to be your new thing. Okay, so do you have an electric car?
No, but I love this car. Maybe I will. I love this car because I think it's a precursor of where we're going as a society. I think this is going down the road of where we are going, in fact, with green energy. And I think it's going to be very successful. And I think the mindset of the country is kind of represented in an initial way right now with this car. And I think it's great.
I think it's actually kind of cool where you go in certain parts of the country and you see the plug-in stations now. Jackie, your thoughts?
You're talking to somebody who just spent $40, which is cheap, to fill up her gas tank. Look, the electric car has been around since the 1920s, believe it or not. President Wilson's wife actually had one. It was very popular amongst ladies back then. I did not know that. Yeah, I didn't either, but you didn't have to crank it, and it didn't make a mess.
You didn't have to crank it.
Yeah, but in 1979, Jimmy Carter gave his famous green energy speech, and he said then he was hoping that we had electric vehicles in this country by the year 2000. Well, that didn't happen. There's always been a pushback by the oil companies, by the car companies against electric cars.
Well, oil's big money, and it is a big business.
But we could help save society and the planet if we went to electric vehicles.
Okie doke. Dee Dee?
No thanks. I don't want to have to plug in and then, first it's 71,000. Let's talk that first. It's 71,000 bucks. Do you have 71,000 bucks?
There's a tax rebate.
Well, it better be a good one because that's a lot of money. And they don't go very far. I mean, you dealt with the Bulb. That was a total failure. And then this, it's a cute car. I'll give it that. I mean, the appearances. But, you know, I think the reason gas prices are so high is because that's the agenda to push green energy. So I kind of see it that way, that the administration, with all the regulations on oil and all the difficulties with the Keystone Pipeline and so forth, why do you think gas prices are so high? It's Obama's fault, totally. It
Obama's fault.
Wait a minute, 2008.
No,
you're wearing the purple tie.
Think about it.
June 2000.
They're doubled.
Let's go back to June 2008. The price of gasoline was over $4. That's George Bush.
Here we are.
Now it's less. So blaming the president or any president actually on gas prices is not going to work.
All the restrictions on the energy that we have now, and instead of wasting millions of dollars on this green energy that's a boondoggle, it's not working. And you know what? I'm sorry, I don't want to plug in a car to go 70 miles and pay $71,000 to do it. You all can have your plug-in cars. I want my car with my gas. I want my Ford.
Well, I'm going to talk about Tesla right now because they did just get the top honors for the rollovers and for the safety, but they are outselling, and I couldn't believe this myself, they are outselling Cadillac, Chrysler, Porsche, and Mitsubishi in California. And obviously California had some of the highest gas prices. In fact, when I was out there just a couple months ago, you couldn't even find gas in some places. But what do you think about that? I mean, the turn.
That's a great question. I think the psychology of it all is that there are a lot of people who are not like Dee Dee. I mean, she's entitled to her gas, that's fine. But there are a lot of people who really are going to go down this road with Tesla. They're going to find this attractive. They want to be part of where society's going. and they're going to buy into this, and I think that's why the psychology of this is why this is successful.
Well, it still costs money, and still costs. It still is a strain on the environment, if you will, to have electric. Everything's plugged in these days. So, I mean, is it really going to be cost effective?
Oh, it's just a fraction, though, in terms of charging a battery.
I'm looking into the future of getting an electric car.
It's too much money, and you can't go very far on it. I mean, and there have been all kinds of problems with it. I mean, if you all want to get stranded in your little electric car, that's fine, but
I could get
I'm keeping
stranded in my
Ford.
little old car right now.
Well, I think it might be kind of interesting if that Tesla, one of the big comments that they did make this week was that in 2 to 3 years they will have an affordable electric car. So I'm not sure what affordable means
what
to
is
all
affordable?
of you. You know, is it a $45,000? They did not actually state that, and I did talk to the company this week. But if it was affordable, like $25,000, Dee Dee, would you take the jump?
No, I'm sticking with my Ford and pumping the gas.
No, absolutely. I am going to electric, and there are tax breaks that you can get for buying electric now. You know, I want everybody to, I don't know if you've seen this documentary, but it's called Who Killed the Electric Car?
I have not seen that.
It's a wonderful documentary because the electric car, as I said, has been around forever, and there was a big push after the foreign oil crisis that we had in this country around 1980 not to use foreign oil. And so we started to have electric cars, but there was a pushback against those. And so to look at the history of it, I invite you all to go see that documentary because it's interesting. I'm hoping that doesn't happen again now.
When the price comes down, this is going to be bigger than big. That's how successful it's.
So you're saying go get some stock in Tesla?
It's going to work.
thanks.
And
It's
to Dee Dee's point, I think most Americans don't really go that far in their cars every day. There's a trip to work and back. They don't travel hundreds of miles.
I wouldn't say that.
Many people don't travel that many miles in a day. So for many Americans, this model, going a limited number of miles on a battery, works.
I
it's going to work
I think
effectively.
maybe in New York, but in other parts of the country, people have to kind of drive far.
Well,
I mean, and then they charge it all night just to last how long? Not very long. I mean,
Well, some
it's just
people
not
care
dependable.
about society and the planet, and they
Well,
want
if
to
you got
keep it healthy.
$71,000, and maybe they could put a crank on there too. That'd be
Well,
great.
I want to thank President Obama for giving us those tax credits to bring that money down.
Well, we'll have to see what happens in the future on this. But okay, now we're going to go for just a fun last question. If you could have your favorite car, what would be your favorite car to drive, Dee Dee?
Well, because I'm so pro-American, and I'm not kidding. I mean, I chose to buy a Ford because it's the most American car, and I want to support my country. So I drive a Ford, and I will always drive a Ford. It's SUV. I like an SUV, small one. Don't look at me that way.
No, I was just
You should be for that.
no, I am. But
No, I would pick a Ford over a Porsche, over a fancier car, just out of principle. And I have.
Yeah, no, I just am very practical about my cars. I want it small enough to fit into a parking space in New York City. I want it to go thousands of miles on a gallon of gasoline. I want it not to break
You want
down.
it all, Jackie.
I do, and I want
You're
to
not
move
going to get to
fast.
go that far in a Tesla, my dear. So a Tesla's not going to take you
In
that far.
time we might.
Well,
Let's
perhaps,
see.
but not now.
Well, I like Dee Dee's approach of buying American, except that I really like the Aston Martin sports car. It's a little pricey. It's about
James
$250,000,
Bond.
but I really do like that car. It's beautiful.
Well, you know, after really researching the Tesla this week, I was like, you know, I wouldn't mind having one of those, but you know what? I think I'm still going to keep my Harley also. So I
Okay.
have a
Wow,
motorcycle.
Harley, nice.
Good for you.
That's
So
how you
how
save
about that?
money. Buy a Harley.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, well, that's all we have time for. Dr. Bard, of course. Jackie, thank you so much. And Dee Dee, always a pleasure. We're going to have to unplug for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mia Toski. Enjoy your final days of summer, and we'll see you back here next week.